Welcome to the NYRA Bets Top 5 Breeders' Cup Classic Contenders. Starting our list at number 5 is Journalism, who owns Grade 1 victories in the Santa Anita Derby, Preakness Stakes, and Haskell Stakes. The son of Curlin is trained by Michael McCarthy and is one of the most physically impressive horses you will see, and if not for another entry on this list, might have been a Triple Crown winner this year as he was the runner-up in the Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes. The California-based runner has made a habit of traveling across the country this year, but always turns in an honest effort, having never finished worse than third in his career with 6 victories and 3 runner-up finishes. For the Breeders' Cup Classic, he will be in his own backyard and coming off a second-place finish to Fierceness in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic. The horse comes off the pace, and new jockey Jose Ortiz must do a good job of placing him in the right spot early to ensure he can make a clean run around the final turn and into the stretch. The fact McCarthy and the ownership group were willing to make a change away from previous jockey Umberto Rispoli speaks to the fact that the horse might have more ability than he's been allowed to show to this point. Journalism has plenty of heart and the pedigree to suggest that he will like the 1.25 mile distance of the Classic, but he has not been able to get over the hump of defeating elite horses. However, he is a horse that's impossible to discount due to his consistency and class.
Top of the stretch in the NYRA Bets Haskell. Gosker headed front, goal-oriented, trying to keep up. He's second. Journalism on the outside needs to quicken right now. 1 furlong to go. Gosker, goal-oriented inside, stubborn. Journalism, here he comes with those big, robust strides. Journalism, he's the headliner today.
The next contender on our list at number 4 is Fierceness. The 2023 Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner and 2024 Classic runner-up always seems to put his best foot forward on the biggest stage. He also owns victories in signature races such as the Grade 1 Florida Derby, Travers, and this year's Pacific Classic. Todd Pletcher's trainee rarely strings together consistent efforts, which makes him a frustrating horse for bettors. At his best, Fierceness is one of the most brilliant horses we have seen in recent years, as he possesses outstanding early speed and has shown the ability to handle the 1.25 mile distance. However, in the past, he generally needed an ideal trip on the lead or stalking the pace from the outside to deliver those sensational efforts. It was promising to see him overcome early troubles and an inside trip when he won the Grade 1 Pacific Classic last time out over Journalism. Hall of Fame jockey John Velasquez will remain aboard and has repeatedly shown the ability to get the best out of Fierceness by getting him to relax. In this year's Classic, Fierceness could potentially be lone speed, which is dangerous as he's a horse who can get brave up front if nobody challenges him, which is quite the contrast to last year's Classic when he was stalking blazing fast fractions. The question is whether anyone will step up and challenge him early, because otherwise he could be in the winner's circle when it's all over.
And they're into the stretch of the Pacific Classic, and Fierceness is in front. He's got a 2-length lead, and Journalism has a furlong to run him down. Fierceness and John Velasquez still there at the 16th pole. Journalism is all out, and he's not doing enough to beat the beast from the east. Fierceness has won the Pacific Classic by 3.
Last year's Breeders' Cup Classic winner comes in at number 3 on our list as Sierra Leone has continued to be the model of consistency during his 2025 campaign. After capping off last year in style at Del Mar, the $2.3 million son of Gunrunner has had 4 starts in 2025, hitting the board in all of them, but only managing 1 victory in the Grade 1 Whitney at Saratoga. The Chad Brown trainee faced significant difficulty in his last race at the Spa as he was at the back of the field during an early spill in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup, which forced him to alter his trip and not make his customary run until much later than usual. The good news is that jockey Flavian Pratt seems to have figured out all of this horse's quirks as he no longer lugs in and has done a good job at being closer to the lead at the top of the stretch. Sierra Leone is built for distance, and his powerful strides only seem to get longer late in the race as he will come from the back of the field every single time. However, in last year's Breeders' Cup Classic victory, he was assisted with insanely fast fractions during the early stages of the race that wore out the other horses running up front. That is unlikely to be the case come November 1st, as this year's version of the race does not feature nearly as much early speed, which begs the question of whether he can close on this caliber of competition when he does not get his perfect setup.
As the field field turns for home. Fierceness is the one to catch. He has a 3-length lead. Sierra Leone down the center of the track is coming with powerful strides, and Highland Falls is in there too, but it's Sierra Leone who takes the lead from last to first. Highland Falls trying his best. Sierra Leone has won the Whitney.
We go to the land of the rising sun for our number 2 contender as Japan's Forever Young looks to improve upon his third-place finish in last year's Breeders' Cup Classic. In a field of superstars, Forever Young is the biggest money earner, having won over $15 million in purse money worldwide, in large part because of his Grade 1 Saudi Cup victory over fellow international superstar Romantic Warrior. He took 6 months off from April to October, but came back in good form to win his local prep race in the Nippon TV High at Funabashi Racecourse, and will now come to the United States for the third time in his career. The son of Japanese sire Real Steel has never finished worse than third while racking up 9 wins in 12 career starts. Trainer Yoshito Yahagi brought Japan their first Breeders' Cup victory 3 years ago at Santa Anita with Love's Only You, but now they're trying to win the Classic and could have the horse to do it. Forever Young has good early speed, but prefers to track the pace while showing outstanding stamina. Last year he was compromised, like Fierceness, with a suicidal early pace, but given the likely fractions this year, he could be sitting an ideal trip close to the front. He does not have the dazzling burst of late acceleration like Sierra Leone, but he grinds away at his competition and is relentless in the stretch. He can handle international travel and has experience at Del Mar, which makes him all the more dangerous.
And now we're racing, heading for home. Rev on Toulette, Forever Young. Forever Young now takes the lead on the outside. Forever Young is 2025 Japan debut. Running here for the first time in 2025. Running in Funabashi for the first time. Forever Young is still Forever Young. Still forever good. Forever Young wins the 72nd Nippon TV High.
And landing in our top spot is Sovereignty. The superstar 3-year-old has conquered everything in his path, winning the Grade 1 Kentucky Derby, Belmont Stakes, and Travers Stakes, while picking up Grade 2 victories in the Fountain of Youth and Jim Dandy during a truly historic campaign. Bred and owned by Godolphin, the son of legendary sire Into Mischief is trained by Hall of Famer Bill Mott, who has handled this colt beautifully throughout the year. Sovereignty is a physical specimen and a horse who has dominated his own age group without much trouble. Jockey Junior Alvarado has never had to ask the horse for his best, as he often simply needs to shake the reins, and Sovereignty responds with the necessary burst to easily dispatch his foes. His last effort in the Grade 1 Travers was stunning as he breezed to a 10-length victory. What makes Sovereignty so dangerous is his versatility. Early in his career, he was a deep closer like Sierra Leone. However, starting in the Grade 1 Belmont Stakes, he showed significantly more early speed and can closely track the pace like Forever Young. His ability to sit different trips distinguishes him from nearly anyone else in the field and allows Alvarado the luxury of playing the break and seeing how the race unfolds. He is a joystick horse who possesses outstanding intelligence and that he can respond to every command without negative repercussions. However, what distinguishes Sovereignty from so many others is his stamina, as he seems uniquely built to improve as the race gets longer. He will need to conquer Del Mar, as he has never traveled to California before, but he has proven to be the ruler of all he sees.
They're in the final furlong, and we are witnessing greatness. Sovereignty pouring it on. And for the first time since 1995, we have a Kentucky Derby, Belmont, and DraftKings Travers winner as Sovereignty rolls home